Honey, why are you judging yourself for not showing up a certain way in a conversation? Tell me, why are you criticizing yourself and saying, oh, I should have showed up more happy, I should have said this, I should have been more positive and said more stuff? Why are you judging yourself? That's not gonna do anything. Do you think that judging yourself is gonna take you further? It's not. It is not. Hi everyone, I'm Joannie, and if my voice sounds a little bit cranky, a little scratchy today, I'm a bit sick, but I am still gonna show up for this video, guys, and still give you the information on how to be better at conversations, which is mostly always on the mindset, always on the mind. So if you're interested in that, continue watching this video, because I promise you, once you leave this video, you're gonna be feeling confident and be ready to talk to anybody and be willing to accept yourself no matter how you show up. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. First up, I want to point out that you don't have to show up in a conversation a certain way. Okay? You do not. Confidence is not being loud. It's not being the light of the party. It's not being loud. It's not doing humongous gestures and laughing loud. That's naturally you, then that is you. We are going to talk more about embracing who we are in a conversation. But right now I'm saying confidence is not being loud. It's not being the center of attention. That is not confidence. Confidence is accepting who you are and showing up as that in the conversation and being willing to embrace, even if the conversation goes awkward or in silence, you are able to embrace that. That is what a conversation is. That is true confidence. Listen, if you think you have to be more loud, if you think you have to be more extravagant, more charismatic, if you think you have to be more of this certain type of way in order to make people respect you and be willing to listen, you do not have to be that. I am saying if you constantly feel put down and insecure during a group conversation or conversation with somebody new, then we are going to heal that right now. We are going to fix that in this video. Becoming a better conversationalist is embracing who we are. Who are you? Are you naturally more quiet? Naturally more loud? Are you this super happy, positive girl that loves to chat? Who actually are you when you're alone or when you're talking to family members? Because when you're talking to somebody you're really close to, that is where you're going to find out how you actually are in conversations. Talk to somebody you are really close to and feel really confident to. Are you sassy with them when you talk? Are you quiet and listen more, observe more? Are you chatty? Are you more loud? What are you when you're talking to somebody you're really close to? That is how I want you to show up in every conversation. I mean, people, strangers, employees, whoever you're talking to, that's how I want you to show up in every conversation. Because if you're thinking I have to be a certain way, I have to be more quiet and more reserved and less than I am, so I can be able to make that person like me, you are not. Because people can sense authenticity. And if you're not being authentic, they're going to sense that. They're going to be like, this girl's not authentic. She is not. They're going to sense that. And you are not doing you a favor or them a favor. Now, I want you to be removing the eyes. I want you to be removing the eyes because that is so selfish. I hope they like me. Oh, I hope I show up good. I hope I don't embarrass myself. Do you see how much eyes is in there? It's never about the other person. You're not providing any value like that. You're not wanting to put a smile on their face. You're not wanting to make them feel heard and feel important because you're constantly I. How about we switch this mindset? And I want you to start saying, I want to provide them with some value. I want to make them feel seen. I want to make them feel important and like I gave them the most listening ears and that they leave this conversation feeling so heard and so inspired and so confident in themselves. Do you see how beautiful that is? You are putting other people and you want them to feel heard. It's not I anymore, it's them. I want them to feel like this. I want them to feel like that. And let's say they don't laugh at what you say, but that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to bring laughter and you wanted to make them feel important. And let's say that their conversation is just like, yeah, I'm good. Or, yeah, they're very off with you. Honey, that is the clearest sign they are not interested in having that conversation. It is not your fault though. It is not your fault. You did not show up bad. You did not make a bad impression. You did not say something you shouldn't have. And if you did, we're going to rewire that. But I'm sure you didn't, okay? And it is not your fault that they are being off with you. They are probably not just not wanting a conversation. They're not in the mood. It doesn't matter what it is. The more you try to guess, what was it? How did I show up? Was it because I showed up bad? Was it because I said something bad? The more you're constantly guessing what it was, you are only hurting your energy. You think you are growing, but you are not. You constantly saying that is wasting energy on something you cannot change. Instead, we could be using our energy and saying, I talked to that person and I usually don't talk, but I did. And that is a confident thing I did today. Or, hey, today this person was off with me, but my mindset was I wanted to provide value with them. I did my part and I am proud of that. How the other person reacts is not your job anymore. If the person wants to be off, if they want to be angry, if they want to be annoyed with you, or let's say your fear is them ignoring you, if they want to ignore you, it is not your fault. It is not your fault. Think about this. Do you really think a happy person who's working on themselves, who has peace in their lives, is going to ignore you? No, they are not. How about a person that's just not interested, it's not in the mood, or is going through it? They're going to ignore you, and it doesn't matter because that's not your fault. It's not your job to fix them. I know you care about it and you want to provide value and you want them to feel happy and love or like you, but it's not your job to make their response accurate and make the response something positive. Your job is simply to provide value for yourself, and then that grows to others. Now, I want to talk about embracing who we are. It's not about being something you are not. It's not about I have to be this certain way in order to be confident. Others don't have to see you as confident, okay? They don't have to believe you're confident. It doesn't matter. If you know you're confident, that is it. That is all you need. Why do you want this person's approval? A person that is judging you, a person that is ignoring you, a person that is acting off with you, why do you want their approval? Why do you want them to approve who you are and say what you are when they don't even know who they are and they haven't gotten to that point to find themselves? Why are you searching for their approval? You wanting to put a smile on their face, you wanting to make them feel important, you wanting to provide value in a conversation. It is so beautiful, and it automatically makes your aura shine. Doesn't matter if they're angry with you, doesn't matter if they're off with you, doesn't matter if they ignore you. Your energy is already good because you're wanting to provide some love and some value into a conversation. That is already you doing your part. The other part is the other person's and not your business. I want you to find out, why do I fear starting a conversation with a stranger? Is it because they're gonna give me this look of the annoyed, like, don't talk to me look? Is it because they're gonna ignore me? Is it because they're gonna leave me talking about myself? What is it? What fears you starting a conversation with somebody? What is it? Do you want to show up a certain way? Do you not want to be cringy? Whatever it is, I want you to find it and journal it down. Then once you found that, you're gonna ask yourself, okay, if this were to happen, imagine that the biggest scenario you're scared of happened. Let's say they do ignore you and they walk off. What happens after? Okay, I'm left standing, people are looking at me and I feel awkward. What happens after? You can say they remember it, but they're not going to remember it. They have their own lives. They have traumas they're going through. They have a job. Oh no, I have to get to that job today. I don't want to babysit this kid today. They have things they're thinking about in their mind. They're too busy with their own lives, their own problems to think of something awkward you did. And if you're going to sleep thinking about that, they're not going to sleep thinking about that, okay? They already forgot about it. And if they still remember it, that is their job to heal that. That is their job to be taking care of themselves instead of focusing on so much on somebody else's life, okay? Find out what the worst scenario is and ask yourself, what would happen after? What would happen after this? And at the end, you're going to realize that even the worst scenario, in 5 years, it's not going to matter. In 1 year, it's not going to matter. Why are you worrying so much about it if people are going to forget about it? You're going to move on, you're going to get a new job, you're going to graduate, whatever it is, and you're going to forget about it, and they're going to forget about it. Life is so long, okay? You have life, you have things you want to do, you have goals you want to chase. Be so focused on that you don't even care what somebody has to say or however you come up in a conversation. Now, mostly about becoming a better conversationalist is listening. I don't want you to be thinking about what you're going to say next. Should I say it like this? Should I say it like this? Should I say this? Are they going to feel triggered by it? I don't want you to be thinking about that. I know you're worried of silence, but you shouldn't be worried of silence. The worst that can happen is... That's it. They're not going to hurt you, okay? You're not going to hurt them. And it's not your job to carry the conversation. It's not your job. It's a two-person job to carry the conversation. And if it's a group, we all do our part to carry the conversation. You shouldn't be wanting to make sure the conversation is fun. You should not be performing for them. You should not be acting for them, making sure that you are making a fun conversation. If that is your goal and you want to bring some fun, then do it. But if they're not supporting that and they're just more off, that is not your job anymore. You are done. That conversation is done. It's not your job to be acting for this person. You shouldn't be a certain person so they can feel like they're having fun. You should not be acting for them. Why? Because they can also join in the conversation. If they actually care about this conversation and want to be in a conversation, they will want to talk. And they will want to also put their part in carrying the conversation. I'll leave it all to you. I don't want you to be thinking what to say next. I want you to be able to catch yourself and say, no, I am not going to be thinking what to say next. I am going to listen to them. Actually listen, like really listen to them. Be like, ooh, okay, let me say what they have to say. You're not just going to learn how their mindset works. You're going to learn so much about them. You're going to be able to gain new wisdom. And what if they give you new wisdom and you lost it because you were too busy thinking, what should I say next? You're going to be gaining new wisdom, get to know them, get to know their mindset, get to see how they perceive stuff, and be able to know them at such a deeper level. Instead of focusing on what to say next, you earn so much more on listening to this person and embracing the silence than thinking what to say next. Let's say a conversation got really silent, okay? And now you're both just, what do I say after? Embrace it. If you are comfortable with that silence and you're like, yeah, I'm chill with the silence, it's a little awkward, but I'm gonna embrace it. I love silence. Start saying that in your mind. The other person's gonna sense that. And they're just gonna start feeling comfortable with you because they don't feel like silence is awkward with you. We are energy, and we have our energy. And once you start embracing something, the other person, without knowing it, is gonna start embracing it because they feel safe with you. They're not gonna know. They're like, I don't know what it is about you, but I feel comfortable in silence. Like, I don't feel like I have to always be talking. Just sit there in the silence. You can even be like smiling a little bit, showing that you're comfortable with silence, and the other person's gonna feel like, oh, I don't have to force something fake out of here. I can just be comfortable, and if something naturally comes to my mind, I can say it without forcing it. Another thing to be good at conversations is hooking on what they were saying. If they say, yeah, I just went to this new yoga class, and that's all they say, and be like, really? How was the yoga class? Did you like it? And then they're gonna say more, I liked it. It was okay, not really my type of workout. And say like, oh, I have some recommendations if you like more of a simpler workout. And then they're gonna say something. You're hooking on. Once you start repeating what they say, like, oh, you didn't like it? If they say, I didn't like the yoga class, you say, oh, you didn't like it? They're gonna feel like, oh, she's actually like listening to me and rephrasing what I'm saying. They're gonna feel heard and like you. Hooking on the conversation is a really big thing. But when they give you a dry answer, let's say, yeah, I like my yoga class. Like, you're like, oh, okay. You can say, how long have you been doing it? What do you like about it? Why don't you like about it? And if they give you another dry answer, it's just too quiet. And you're like, okay, that is a conversation where like, okay, what the heck do I say now? If it gets like that, you can say something else related to the topic. Like, I've been doing yoga for a while. I agree or I don't agree. And once they're like, not caring, girl, they don't care about the conversation. You do not have to keep talking and keep providing your value when they're just grabbing it and being like, yeah, take it back. You keep it and just leave the conversation. Do you want to be silent? If they want to be off, let them be that. Let them feel their emotions. Let them, okay? You should not be forcing them to be somebody they are not. They don't want to be in a conversation that they don't, okay? If you're having a conversation with somebody and they're a bit more than you're looking for, if they're a bit loud or a bit more quiet, if they're a certain thing, but and you don't not looking in that conversation, it's not personal to them and it's not personal to you. We're all different. We all like different conversations. I might like somebody who's more loud. I might like somebody who's more quiet. I might like somebody who gives really good eye contact. Like, it all really depends on what you like, and it's not the other person's fault or your fault. You should look for a conversation, something that you like, okay? It's not personal for anybody. When I would have conversations with people, sometimes I'm still reframing my mindset, but I would say, I hope they like me. Or after I had a conversation with them and they gave me very dry answers, I was like, did I say something I shouldn't? Oh, I should have said more about them. I should have stopped talking so much about me. Okay, I don't want you to judge you. I don't need you to be judging yourself. You were not supposed to be anything more or anything less. Okay? You probably forgot that I had to bring value, but that is what a mindset is. That is what a growth mindset is. You learn from it. You learned that I made this too much of myself. I should have made it more of the person. You learned that you want to provide more listening ears to the other person. That's what you learned. You did not lose from any mistakes. You only learned. And from this, you learned that you need to provide more listening ears. For my extrovert girlies, if you're loud, if you love talking so much, I love you. I love you, and I'm not gonna tell you be less or be less quiet. Whoever wants you to be less quiet, they can find somebody who's less quiet. They can leave you and let you be by and let you be in your authenticity, and they can go find somebody less quiet. You do not have to change, because you'll find your people. I promise you will find your people. But remember to always want to bring value, to always want to make the other person feel important and feel heard. That should be your mindset when entering a conversation. Most of us worry, what do I say next? How do I keep it going? Honey, you do not have to keep it going. If you're hooking onto the conversation and then they're not giving you a good response, you don't have to keep it going. But if you are hooking onto it and replying to that, to what they said, and they're talking and actually in the conversation, they want to be in the conversation. They want to be in the conversation. It's like two halves. You showed up vulnerably, you gave love and you gave listening ears, but they did not want to accept that. That is on them. That is their part. You stay with this. You stay being proud of yourself. You stay feeling accomplished, and you stay knowing I did it. I did it. Being vulnerable is a really big thing in certain conversations. I'm not saying go out there and start crying and start trauma dumping on them, because we don't want that. I'm saying listen to them like this. They're talking about something deep. Really, like, be able to tune into their emotions. You're not gonna attach yourself to their emotions, but you're gonna be able to tune in. Be like, yeah. Big thing in conversations is sometimes people like being touched. Like, you can be like, I understand, or like, hey, it's okay. Like certain that shows connection. But it really depends on the other person. You will be able to know that they don't like being touched when you kind of give them like a little, it's okay, and they're kind of like, they don't know, like, oh yeah, they don't want like being touched, and you can learn from that. It's nothing bad. You didn't know, you learn from it. But if they're like, thanks, and they don't look at it like, they're just like kind of like over here, like, yeah, then that means that they don't mind it, that they feel connected towards you. Okay, I'm not saying go up and touch everybody you're having a conversation with. Only with people that you're closer with, or people that you sense a connection there. Trust your intuition. Your intuition's gonna tell you, hey, the vibe is here. I love this conversation. I love where it's going. Or your gut and your intuition's gonna tell you, this vibe is off. I don't like the vibe. I don't like where this is going. Doesn't mean you're both doing something wrong. It just means it's not there. The connection's not meant to be there. Doesn't mean they're doing something wrong or you're doing something wrong. It's just not meant to be. And you just have to distance yourself from that person. Nothing wrong. She's not doing a bad job. You're not doing a bad job. It's just the energy levels that are not meeting right there. Do not have to give your energy or your power to receive love. You do not have to do that. You can keep your energy, you can keep your power, and you can still receive love. A lesson I learned is you cannot give something you don't have. Okay? You want to know how to be a better conversationalist? It's listening to yourself. Listening to what my body needs. Actually really listening to my body needs. Sitting sometimes just alone with my thoughts and listening to my thoughts and giving them my attention. With no phone, no coffee, no distractions, listening to my thoughts. That is how you're going to be a better conversationalist, because you know that you like being listened. So you're going to want to make others feel listened. And once you see the smile on their faces of like, oh, she's listening to me, you're going to feel so good about yourself. You're like, I want to give this to everybody. People do not remember what you said. Most of the time, they don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. Did she make me feel comfortable? Oh, I love this girl. She made me feel so comfortable. Or they're just going to be like, I love this girl. Or I don't like this girl. Because they remember how you make them feel. And if you're providing value, if you're wanting to provide love, they're going to feel that and they're going to feel comfortable with you. If the energy is there, if they're meant to be. If they're not going to feel it. But if they are, they're going to feel it. So girl, I just want you to leave this video remembering I do not have to perform for everybody. I can be myself, and if they don't like it, they don't like it, and we're not doing a bad job. It's just different energies. It's just different energies. I want you to remember I'm going to bring value and I'm going to make them feel loved. I want you to also remember that people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. Okay? And embrace silence, because if you feel comfortable with silence, they're going to feel comfortable with silence as well. Hooking on to conversations too. When they give you the driest response, know that they don't want a conversation. They're off. If they're not giving you this, like if they're not giving you this, and they're giving you, They don't want the conversation. It's not something you can control. Let them be and let yourself be. I love you, my girls, and I really know you took something from this video. I know you did, and I want you to go out there and practice your skills. Showing up as somebody you are. Showing up as that loud girl you are, as that listening girl you are, as that more quiet type of girl. Whatever you are, I want you to show up every conversation as you are. I love you, girls, and I know you took something from this video. If you liked the video, subscribe, and I will keep posting more like this. Bye!